At 15, I was kicked out in the rain because of a lie my brother told. My dad yelled, "You're not welcome in this house." I didn't fight back, I just walked. 2 weeks later, he laughed about it to his friends, not realizing mom was standing right behind him. My brother was 17, headed to an Ivy League school on a full ride. Honor student, varsity track captain, the kid everyone loved. I was just the younger brother who spent too much time playing guitar and not enough time being impressive. That Friday, my brother came home furious. Said someone stole $300 from his graduation fund. The cash relatives had given him at his party. He pointed at me. He took it. I saw him in my room yesterday. I was looking for a phone charger. That's it. But dad didn't ask questions. He just believed my brother, like always. "Get out," dad said, standing in the doorway while rain hammered the porch. "You're not welcome in this house." I didn't beg, didn't cry, just pulled my hood up and walked. I ended up at my friend's house 3 blocks away. His mom answered the door, took one look at me soaking wet, and pulled me inside without asking why. She made me hot chocolate, gave me dry clothes, and set up the basement couch. "Stay as long as you need," she said. My friend's family never made me feel like a burden. His little sister even let me borrow her phone charger, the same one I'd been looking for in my brother's room. I thought maybe dad would cool off, call after a few days, apologize, but my phone stayed silent. A week passed, then 2. I kept going to school like normal. Saw my brother in the hallways sometimes. He never looked at me, just walked past like I didn't exist, laughing with his friends. My friend told me my brother had been bragging, said he taught me a lesson about respecting other people's stuff. That made my stomach turn, but I didn't say anything. What was the point? 2 weeks in, I realized I needed my guitar. It was the only thing I actually cared about in that house. I waited until Wednesday afternoon when I knew dad would be at work and my brother had track practice. I walked to the house, used my key, and slipped inside quietly. Grabbed my guitar from my room, unplugged my amp. I was halfway down the stairs when I heard voices in the kitchen. Dad's voice, loud, laughing. I froze. "Yeah, kick the little punk out in the rain," dad said, and I heard his coworkers laugh. Told him he's not welcome. Let him figure out what the real world's like. Someone asked if I'd come back yet. Dad laughed harder. "Nope, and I'm not chasing him down either. Kid needs to learn some respect." More laughter. Beer cans cracking open. I stood there in the hallway, guitar in one hand, amp cord in the other. My chest felt tight, not from sadness, from something colder. Then I saw her. Mom was standing in the doorway from the garage, grocery bags in both hands. She'd just come home from work, and from the look on her face, she'd heard everything. Our eyes met for a split second. Her expression wasn't shock. It was something sharper, colder, like something inside her had finally cracked. She set the bags down slowly, didn't say a word, just walked past me, straight toward the bedroom. I heard drawers opening, closet doors, the sound of a suitcase zipper. Dad's friends went quiet. One of them muttered something about heading out. I heard the front door close as they left. Dad called out, "Honey, you home?" No answer. 5 minutes later, Mom came back down the stairs. She had 2 suitcases, one in each hand. She walked into the kitchen and looked at Dad. He was still sitting at the table, beer halfway to his mouth, frozen. 30 years, Mom said quietly. "You had 30 years to be the man I thought you were." Dad blinked. "What are you talking about?" "I heard what you said about our son, about laughing while he's sleeping on someone's couch because you wouldn't even let him explain. He stole—" "No, he didn't," Mom said, voice flat. "Your other son spent that money at the mall 2 days before he accused him. I saw the charges on my credit card statement. He bought a new pair of Nikes and some gaming headset. He lied, and you believed him because you always believe him." Dad's face went pale. Mom turned to me. "Get your things. You're coming with me." I just stood there, still holding my guitar. "Now," she said. I grabbed my amp and followed her out. Dad didn't move, didn't say a word, just sat there with his beer, staring at the table. We drove in silence to a motel that night. Mom paid for a week up front. The next morning, she opened a bank account I didn't know existed. $31,000. Savings she'd kept separate for years, just in case, she said quietly. We got an apartment across town a week later. 2 bedrooms, small kitchen. It was quiet, but it was ours. My brother called 2 months later. I was in my room when Mom's phone rang. I heard her side of the conversation. "Your father wants to talk," he said, apparently. Mom told me later he was crying. Said the house felt empty. Said Dad barely spoke anymore. Said he blamed my brother for everything falling apart. Mom listened, then said, "You should have thought about that before you lied." She hung up. My brother tried calling me after that 3 times. I never answered. I'm 17 now, still living with Mom. I work part-time at a music shop on weekends. Saved enough to buy a new amp, a Fender I'd been eyeing for a year. Sometimes people ask if I miss my old life. I don't, because it was never really mine to begin with.